Okay, let's start again. Would you please state your name for the record?
Kaitlyn Roselli, KATHRYNRESTELLI.
Thank you. And who is Tracey Grist?
She is my mother.
Okay, and do you see Tracy in the courtroom today?
I do.
Okay, would you please point her out with an article of clothing?
Blue and white dress.
I'd ask that the record reflect that she identified the defendant.
So noted, thank you.
Okay, Kate, why are you testifying in handcuffs?
Because I am a resident at Utah State Correctional Facility.
And
I'm
why
in prison
are you in prison?
because I pled guilty to the murder of my husband.
What other charges did you plead guilty to?
Conspiracy and criminal discharge of a firearm.
And you said you pled guilty to the murder of your husband.
Yes,
What is
Matthew Restelli.
Thank you. His name is Matthew Restelli.
Yes,
Who did you conspire with to murder Matt Restelli?
my mother, Tracey Grist,
And who else?
and Kevin Ellis, my brother.
Now you said you're in prison. Is it fair to say that you reached you pled guilty, correct?
I did.
And why did you plead guilty?
I pled guilty because I wanted justice for Matt. I wanted justice for his children, and the truth needed to be said.
Is it fair to say that you received a plea deal from the state in exchange for your plea?
Yes,
And is it fair to say that your possibility of parole is sooner than it might otherwise be?
yes,
Is it also fair to say, though, that you still have a life possibility?
yes, I do.
Which was the more driving factor for you? The reduced possibility of, or the more favorable possibility of release, or the truth coming out?
I went to my attorney and I told him I wanted to tell the truth. I did not know what deal would come out of telling the truth. I wanted the truth.
And are you here to tell the truth to the jury today?
Yes.
Let's back up a little bit. Tell me about your relationship with Matt.
It was,
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, thank you.
You got that?
thank you.
And if you need a water or something, just let us know.
I have one in front of me. Thank you. It wasn't the best marriage.
Let's
It was
talk
hard.
timelines. When did you guys meet?
We met in November of 2008.
And how long did you guys date before getting married?
We got married in November 2016. I think that was 8 years. Not
About.
yeah.
And did you and Matt have children?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and how old are they? And what are their names?
Matthew has a son from a previous relationship. His name is Lucas, and he's 21. And then we have a daughter who is Cheyenne. She's 8, and a son who's 5. His name is Steele.
You said you got married in 2016. When was Cheyenne born?
August of 2016. August of 2017. I was 2 weeks pregnant at the wedding, and I had no idea.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that relationship. You said what was the word you used? It was hard. What did you say at the beginning?
It wasn't perfect. It wasn't the best.
Okay. How did it begin at the beginning of the marriage? How were things?
At the beginning of the marriage, it was so. We had our arguments, but it was something that I was stubborn and I wanted it to work.
And how did the relationship improve over the years, or did it change over the years?
It stayed pretty steady, but when COVID hit, it really got strained.
How so?
Spending a lot of time together and financial burdens really took a toll on our marriage.
Would you guys fight often?
Yes.
Would those fights become physical?
Never physical. I don't recall any pushing, but it was very verbal.
A lot of
and
yelling,
A lot of yelling, yes.
name calling.
See right there, guys, she's saying that there was never any physical abuse. There was a lot of yelling and screaming and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure that was going both ways with them. Let me show y'all something.
Tell me a little bit about where you and Matt lived.
We lived in Temecula, California. To be more specific, Awanga, California. It was a rural little piece of property. It was about 7 acres. And for the first part of our marriage, first part of our relationship, we lived in a fifth wheel, and then we were given a home by his parents.
You said it was rural. How rural are we talking?
The nearest neighbor was about a mile away, but it was right off of a 1-lane highway. So it was about 15 minutes to the nearest gas station, Walmart.
Okay, so town was about 15 miles or 15 minutes away.
Yes.
You said it was 7 acres,
Yes.
and the closest neighbor was about a mile away.
Yes.
Did you have neighbors all around you, or how was the property laid out?
It was pretty spread out. The property is surrounded by Cleveland National Forest.
Did you guys have wildlife there?
Lots of it.
What are some of the wildlife that you had there?
Bobcats, cougars, wild turkeys, quail. We had a couple dogs. I don't recall any other wildlife off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
Would you see the wildlife often?
Occasionally. We saw a bobcat the night we brought home my daughter it was my son, excuse me. It was my son from the hospital. We saw a bobcat, and Matt actually shot and killed it because he thought it was a bigger cat.
Like what? Like what would be a bigger cat?
A bobcat, or not, excuse me, a cougar, like a mountain lion.
Did you guys have mountain lions in the area?
Yes.
Did you ever see one?
Yeah, I saw one across the street in a big field. During the day, we took our binoculars and we were watching it.
What about Matt? Did you ever run into mountain lions?
I believe so. Yeah, even in Orange County, where his parents live, he had a pretty big encounter with a mountain lion.
Tell me about Matt. What were his hobbies?
He liked to bike ride. He occasionally liked to fish. He liked being outdoors. He liked to work on mechanics. Anything with his hands.
And would he report having, I'll strike that. You said COVID, things got really hard,
Yes.
right? Spending a lot of time together.
Yes.
Financial situations were hard.
Yes.
Ultimately, did you step out on the marriage?
Yes, I did.
When was that?
It was about a year before the murder, in June of 23.
Was that an additional source of contention between you two?
I never was truthful with him. He had an idea, but I never confirmed it.
But were there accusations made?
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about, you'll see in front of you and if we could put up State's Exhibit 1 for the witness only. You see that in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and does that match this demonstrative exhibit that's right here to your left?
Yes, it does.
Okay, if we could say we move to admit State's Exhibit 1.
Any objection? So admitted, thank you.
If we could publish to the jury, please. Yeah, we're going to talk through all the people on this board.
Okay.
First, in the blue up top, we've already identified Tracey Grist as your mother, correct?
Yes.
In 2024, where did Tracy live?
Utah.
What part of
American
Utah?
Fork, Utah.
And and then going down to her family tree on the far left, who is Carolyn Fisher?
She is my older sister.
Okay, and where does she live? Or where did she live in 2024?
She lived in Carlsbad, California.
How far was that from Temecula or Awanga?
About an hour drive, 45 if you get lucky.
What was your relationship like with Terrelyn?
It was really good. I would definitely call her one of my best friends.
Would you confide in her the problems you were having?
Absolutely.
Okay, next to Terrelyn, who's Kevin Ellis?
Kevin Ellis is my younger brother.
Okay, and in 2024, where did Kevin live?
He lived in American Fork with my mother.
Logistically, how is Tracy's house laid out? Where were the rooms?
So it's a 3-story, well, I guess it's a 2-story with a basement. On the ground level, there's an office that Rory would use to have her games. Downstairs, it's a basement, and Jacob had the downstairs bedroom, and there was like a game room and a extra living room. And then going all the way upstairs, it's when you come to the top of the stairs, it's Rory's bedroom, Kevin's bedroom, a bathroom, and then my mother's room.
So obviously you're Kate Restelli, and then to the right of you is Tim Ellis. Who is Tim?
Tim Ellis is my younger brother
And in 2024, where did Tim live?
in Pleasant Grove, Utah.
How far would you say that was from your mom's house, if you know?
2 to 3 minutes.
And then to the right of Tim is who?
Rachel Jorgensen, my younger sister,
Okay, and where did Rachel live in 2024?
in Ogden.
And then to the right of her is Jacob Trujillo.
Yes.
And who is that?
He is my younger brother, and he lived in American Fork downstairs with my mother.
You indicated he was in the basement, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a finished basement. So
Okay, yeah. So rooms down there and carpet, and yeah. To the right of him is who is that?
that is Rory, and that is my youngest sister. And she also lived at home with my mom in American Fork.
And is that who you referred to would use the office for her games?
Yes.
All right, now moving over to the yellow, who is Diane Restelli?
Diane Restelli is Matthew's mother.
And then obviously we have Matthew, and you've already identified Cheyenne and Steele, your children, correct?
Yes.
We can take that down. Of that group, who would you say you were closest to?
Definitely Terrelyn.
Okay, and then after Terrelyn, who would you say you were closest to?
Next would probably be my mother.
And then after her?
I wasn't really as close with Rachel as I am now. I believe that being in jail and going through all of this brought me closer to Rachel. She's significantly younger than I am. So I wouldn't bother her with my marriage problems because she had such a good marriage. I didn't want her to be discouraged.
Were you close with Kevin?
No.
How
not really.
often would you say you spoke to Kevin? Let's go from January 24 till June of 24 when you came out here.
I don't think I spoke with him at all during January, February, March, April, May, or the only time in June was when I was coming out and he provided me the gate code. He told me that he would help me unload the car when
Yeah,
I got there.
You did have a family trip in February, right?
Yes, that's right.
Did you talk to him then?
Briefly, yes.
But you weren't close.
No, I don't think so.
Would you confide in him your problems with Matt?
Absolutely not.
And what about Tim?
Tim, I barely talked to him. I did speak with him in February because we're both huge Disney fans. So we bonded over that. But other than that,
And Rory and Jacob?
same thing. Just brief conversations, nothing really substantial.
Is it fair to say that Kevin, Tim, Rory, Jacob weren't in the same stage of life as you were?
Correct.
And so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Is that fair?
Yes.
Beyond normal sibling things.
Yes.
Okay. Would you confide in any of them, those four, your problems with Matt?
No.
So really, is it fair? So Carolyn and your mom were the two you confided in,
Yes.
and not Rachel, because you said you didn't want to burden her or taint her view of marriage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it fair to say that over the first 6 months of 2024 that your relationship with Matt was continuing to deteriorate.
Yes.
Can we put up for the witness exhibit 28, please? 28. You have a binder up there. If you want to refer to it, you can, but if not, it will show up on your screen.
Okay, thank you.
It might be easier on the screen. Okay, you just take a look at that exhibit, and when you recognize what it is, just look up and let me know. If you want us to scroll down, we can. Okay, do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What does that appear to be?
That is a text message between me and my mother.
Okay, does it appear to be an accurate representation of that conversation you had with her?
Yes.
State would move at this time to admit State's Exhibit 28.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
We could go to page 3 of that. Thank you. What, that first message at the top, what's the date on that? And if we could publish this to the jury, please.
The date on that is January 13th, 2024.
Can you blow it up? It's impossible to read for the jury.
Thank you. Okay, and that first text message there on page 3, what does it say?
At this point, I don't know if Matt will be going to Disney. We've been fighting so much. I want out.
When you say I want out, what did you mean?
I want out of the marriage.
And this was in January of 2024, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and if we could scroll down, what was your mom's response?
Sure.
Okay. And then let's scroll down to the page 4, please. Okay, on your right, what do you say at 9:08 in the evening?
I can't recover it.
And what are you referring to?
The fight that we were having, I was trying to get him to agree to go to Disney, because if he didn't go to Disney, I felt like it would be held over my head that I took our children to Disneyland without him.
Okay. And then if we could go to page, go to the next page, please. Keep going. Next page. Okay. You could read that message on the left. From who's that from?
That is from my mother to me.
What'd she say?
I just told your husband, don't mess with my child. I want you to know I meant that.
What happened prior to this message?
My mother called Matt.
Do you know what she said?
No, I don't. I was not in the room. And Matt didn't have her on speaker. I know that after she told me what she said, I was like, oh, all right.
What did she tell you that she said?
That she
Or is it this?
told,
Is
it's
this
pretty
what she-
much that she told him not to mess with me.
Okay. Can you please scroll down? Okay, let's stop there. Could you please read that message from your mom?
He asked if it was a threat, and I said I just wanted him to not react.
And the next one, please.
But that's only because I was watering down my words.
What is that? What did that mean to you?
She was sugarcoating. She was.
So hold on. If he objects, just pause for a second.
I'm sorry.
Calls for speculation.
I asked her what it meant to her, not what her mom meant by it, but what did she interpret?
All
from it?
that under that. Nice.
What did it mean to me? It meant that she had said harsh words and that she was able to sugarcoat it to where he didn't realize that she was actually being rude and threatening.
Okay. Let's scroll down, please. Let's keep going towards the end. Well, actually, let me pause there. How did Matt respond to that?
He did not like that phone call at all.
Okay. And you relayed that to your mom, correct?
I did.
Okay, continue on. Go to Tracy's next message, please. Okay. So you tell your mom that Matt was mad about it. What was her response to you?
She said that she wouldn't call him. And she said, just try to sleep. I won't call him. And then she said, I'll drive 9 hours and strangle him.
Now, what did that mean to you?
I didn't think it was serious. I thought it was more of a figure of speech, but I know that she was not keen on Matt.
How'd you know that those two didn't get along? You take this down, please.
They had arguments at my house and they both voiced it to me.
Actually, sorry, let's put that back up. Go to page 10, please.
To the
Yes,
jury.
publish,
too.
please. Yes, it's still the same exhibit. Okay. What's the date on this text message?
January 14th, 2024
What time of the day?
at 8:30 in the morning.
So fair to say the next morning?
Yes.
Okay, what do you say to your mom?
Matt's really upset that you quote unquote threatened him. He wants to call you and make sure that you battle the shit out of threatening him. And I believe I misspoke on that. And I think I meant to say backpedal.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So like, take it back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you meant.
Yes. I
Okay,
was
what
telling her to undo it.
All right. If we could scroll down, what was her response?
Okay.
And the next?
Fuck him. He can call. I will act innocent enough, but he doesn't have the balls to call me.
Thank you. You can take that down. We could show just the witness exhibit 31, please. Yes. I did, yes. Yes. And we'll look at this in just a second, but that exchange was in January.
Yes.
Ultimately, did the Disney trip happen or not happen?
The Disney trip happened. It had some hiccups, but it did happen.
And did Matt go on it with you?
Yes, he did.
After coming back from Disney, did that fix your relationship?
No. Sorry.
It's fair, right? Like, is it fair to say your problems were bigger than that?
Yes.
Okay. And did you continue to share your frustration with your family members?
I did.
In particular, your mom and Tara Lynn?
Yes, I did.
If you take a look at your screen, this has previously been marked as State's Exhibit 31. When you recognize it, just let me know. Okay. Does that appear to be a conversation, another text thread between you and your mother?
Yes, it does.
The state would move to admit State's 31.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
Okay, if we could publish, please.
You
And
can
if
vote
we
up.
blow that up, please. Thank you. Okay, what's the date on this text thread?
May 22nd, 2024.
Okay, and what do you say to your mom?
I hate my life, Mom.
And the next one?
I hate that I have kids with Matt.
Do you remember what was going on around this time?
Just another argument. I can't tell you what the argument was about. I don't remember.
We go to the next page, please. Okay, yeah, well, actually, we'll pass on that one. Do you remember, would your mom come to visit, and if we could unpublish it, please. Did your mom come to visit you guys in California?
Yes, she did.
Do you remember if she came out to visit you right around this time frame, end of May of 2024?
Yes, I believe she did.
Okay, and do you remember how that visit went?
I believe she was out to visit her friend. I don't recall if she had just passed or was extremely sick. Her friend being extremely sick.
And remember what her friend's name was?
Amy McQuillan.
And while they're visiting her, she came to see you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, she did stay at my house.
And was there anything significant that stuck out to you about that visit? Anything that you remember?
I know that Matt and my mom had a little argument, a little tiff, but it wasn't really anything that Matt made a comment to me after my mom left that my mom asked why I was spending so much time in my camper. I would be in my camper smoking weed, and he stated that she asked why I was in there so often for so long. And I thought nothing of it. I eventually asked my mom about it, and she said, "No, I didn't ask that. That's him. He's lying." And from there, she got upset that he was painting the picture that she cared what I was doing in the camper.
Okay. Was it a source of contention between Matt and your mom? This argument.
Yes,
And that was at the end of May of 2024. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes.
We could show the witness States Exhibit 24. Okay, do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
This appears to be a conversation between you and Carolyn Fisher.
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, the state would move to admit States Exhibit 24.
Any objection? Thank you. So admitted without objection.
If we could publish, please. Okay. Again, who is this conversation between?
Myself and my older sister, Carolyn.
And Carolyn's the one that lived in Carlsbad, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the date on this communication?
June 6th, 2024.
If it says June 8th, would that be-
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah,
No
June
worries.
8th. My apologies.
What do you say to Carolyn?
I hate Matt. I need out so bad.
You remember why you hated him so much right then?
Another argument, just something that he was just belittling me about, just another stupid argument.
Okay. If we could go to page 2, please. Keep going. Let's stop there. 5:55 p.m. that evening, what do you ask Carolyn?
How do I get out?
And if we could scroll to the next page for her response. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Could you please read that third one down?
You literally have to do it one step at a time. I think talking to mom about that storage unit, a very small one, putting most of your valuable things, the few favorite toys of the kids or whatever for outfits, whatever you need to start pre-planning.
What did you understand for pre-planning?
Pre-planning to go to Utah to go be with my mom and take my kids.
And did you talk to your mother about that storage unit?
I don't know if I actually talked to my mom about the storage unit. I know that Tara Lynn and my mom talked about the storage unit, and Tara Lynn is the one who ended up renting the storage unit for me in her name. So it would have no paper trail back to me, and Matt would have no idea.
Okay. What did you begin to do when we could unpublish this? But what did you begin to do with that storage unit?
I put anything that was near and dear to my heart. A lot of the children's clothes. I enjoy doing letterboards. Letterboards are little felt boards that you put letters on. I put all of them in there. I put my Christmas tree.
So you began to fill it.
I'm sorry?
You began to fill it.
Yes, I did.
And what was the intention at that time? You said you were pre-planning. You were pre-planning for what?
To leave Matt.
And did you have an anticipated time you were going to do that?
We were trying to work out the details. It required my mother sending me a credit card that she was putting me on to be able to rent a vehicle to drive out to Utah, because Matt and I did not have money to do that.
Do you remember plans to go to Vegas around that time?
Yes, I do.
And what was your plan after the Vegas trip?
I was actually going to leave from the Vegas trip to my mother's.
And who had you talked about that with?
My mom,
Anybody else?
Tara Lynn.
we could show to the witness exhibit 25, please. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, once you recognize this, same procedure. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
And does that appear to be a conversation between you and your mother?
Yes, it does.
Does it appear to accurately reflect that conversation?
Yes.
If I could say we move to admit state's exhibit 25.
Any objection?
Okay.
So admitted, thank you.
If we could publish to the jury, please, page 1. Okay, can you please read that message that you, oh, actually, what's the date on that message?
Blow it up,
June.
please.
Blow it a little bit more. Thank you.
June 15th, 2024.
Okay, and who are you talking to here?
I am talking to my mom.
And what do you say?
Diane just said we probably shouldn't go to Vegas.
And you've identified this earlier, but who is Diane?
Diane is Matt's mother.
Okay. If we could go to page 3, please. Scroll down, right there. Later that day, what does your mom ask you?
Hey, what is your SS number?
What was the purpose of this, if you remember?
Being able to put me on her Costco credit card.
Okay, we can go ahead and unpublish that. Did your mom put you on the credit card?
Yes, she did.
And what did you get? How'd that happen?
She had it mailed to her house, and then from her house, she mailed it to my PO box that I held at the UPS store.
And was a card in your name?
Yes, it was.
And what did Matt know about this card?
No, he did not.
Was that the whole purpose of the card?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so where we're at is you've got a storage unit. You've been filling it with your valuables, correct?
Yes.
Roughly 6/16, your mom sends you a Costco credit card. Is that correct? Did you get it that same day, or did you get it a couple
The
days
day
later?
that she asked me about the social security card, the social security number, no, I did not get it. It probably took about a week to get it.
A week, so that would have been the 23rd of June, or
I don't recall. Probably sooner than that because I left on the 20th. So I probably got it on the 19th or the 18th.
you had it before you left, correct?
Yes, I needed it to rent the vehicle.
Let's just go ahead and publish again, states 25 and go to page 10, please. Let's go down to the bottom. Okay, on the 18th, do you see the message from your mom?
Yes,
And what does it say?
it will arrive at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
And is that, what is that in reference to?
The card.
Okay. So is that consistent then with what you just said? You probably would have gotten it a day or two before.
Yeah, I believe I got it on the 19th.
We go to the last page of that exhibit. Scroll down, please. Okay, that message at 4:15 p.m. on the 18th, what is that?
That is the information of the rental car place that I was going to use to rent the vehicle.
Could you have rented the car without your mom?
Without her credit card, no. I don't believe so.
Could you have gotten to Utah without her?
No.
Okay, so on the 20th, what did you do? Then over June 20th.
So June 20th, I got up like normal and I told Matt that I was going to go to work. I was working with one of the women at the school that my daughter attended, doing personal assisting, helping her manage her Airbnbs. So it was an under the table job. So I was able to bring my children, and I told Matt that I was going to work and that I was going to bring the kids and we were going to have a fun day.
Okay. Were you going to work?
No, I was not.
What did you do?
I drove down to the rental car place. Carolyn met me down there. She watched my kids in the car as I rented the excursion. I parked my truck that was in Matt's name in the Target parking lot. Took anything out of it that I needed, took the car seats, put them in the excursion, and locked the truck, drove away, took a picture. Then I drove over to the storage unit, put anything that I needed immediately, my kids' clothes, their blankets, their pillows, some stuffies, things that I wanted at that moment into the excursion. It was pretty full. And then I gave Carolyn the key to the lock that was on the storage unit, knowing that she was going to clean it out the rest of the way because I was not going to be in California. I was going to Utah. And I proceeded to drive to Utah. My father was also in the car with my sister.
So at the time that you were cleaning out the storage unit and filling the excursion, were you coming back to California?
I had no intention of doing so, no.
You talked about taking the car seats out of the truck, put them into the excursion. Did you leave anything in the truck?
Yes, I dropped an Apple tag in the truck.
Okay, if we could show the witness exhibit 26, please. Where did that Apple AirTag come from?
Carolyn gave it to me.
I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 26. You recognize that communication?
I do.
Is that a conversation between you and Tara Lynn on the 20th of June?
Yes, it is.
Say we move to admit State's Exhibit 26.
Any objection? Thank you, admitted.
We publish that for the jury. Thank you. If you could please read that first.
Let's blow it up.
A little more. Thanks. If you could read that first message, please.
I used the Apple AirTag that I had on Tabitha, so Mom and Rachel already had links to it. This is a screenshot from Rachel. Rachel, whenever you want to put it, make sure that it's you either have alcohol or the Gorilla Tape or a good spot to slip it in the truck. I think in the truck may be better, maybe in the seat or something in the back seat. That way it doesn't get lost or fall off.
Okay. So you got that message at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
You could scroll to your response, please. How did you initially feel about putting an AirTag in the car?
I don't think I want to leave the tag in the truck. It gives me a bad feeling.
Remember why?
I didn't want Matt to find it, but my bad feeling was probably this whole trial.
Ultimately, we can unpublish that, but ultimately, did you decide to leave the AirTag?
I did.
Where did you put it?
In the middle of the driver and passenger seat, there's a bin that it's a catch-all bin, almost like a bonus center console. I dropped it in that bin.
Okay. Let me show the witness State's Exhibit 2, please. Is that an accurate representation of where you left the AirTag?
Yes, it is.
Say we move to admit Exhibit 2.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
You can publish it to the jury, please. It appears pretty visible from here. Was there more stuff in that bin when you put it in there?
I believe so.
And why did you put the AirTag in the truck?
Because I was fearful of Matt. I wanted to know where he was, if he was going to follow me out to Utah, if he drove the truck.
Okay.
I wanted to see where he was going, if he was going to the bar, or I wanted to keep tabs on him.
And that was the initial reason you left. Is that correct?
Of his alcoholism?
No, because you wanted to keep tabs on him, see if he followed you, see if he went to the bar, That was the initial reason you left the AirTag, correct?
Yes.
Did ultimately you end up using it for something else?
Yes, we did.
Who had access? We can unpublish this. Who had access to monitoring the AirTag on the 20th when you left California?
Carolyn had it on her iPad. Rachel had it on her iPhone. My mom had it on her iPhone, and Kevin had it on his iPhone.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 3. See if you recognize that.
You said 3.
3, please. Yes. You can go and blow that up. Thank you. You recognize this?
I do.
This appeared to be a Facebook thread between you and some of your family members.
Yes, it does.
It appeared to be an accurate representation of that thread.
Yes, it does.
State would move to admit States Exhibit 3.
Any objection? No. Thank you, so admitted.
We could publish the top of that first page. Okay. Blow that up just a little bit more. You can blow that up just a little bit more. Thank you. Who was on this thread?
Myself, Rachel, Carolyn, and my mother.
And was the purpose of this, what was the purpose of this thread? Do you remember?
I don't know the initial purpose. I think it was just to be able to give updates all in one.
You see,
It was the night I left. I drove out to Utah on 6/20, and at 9 o'clock, I was still on the road. I was close to my mother's house, but I was still on the road.
and this thread, is it fair to say in that first one, it was created that evening?
Yes,
Okay. And did you use this thread to track Matt's movements and to discuss his movements?
that seems plausible. Yes.
Let's go and go to page 6. Scroll down. Okay, yeah, right there on that dismiss. You're telling someone you're concerned in case he has the wild hair and comes out. And what's the response from Rachel?
At least we would be able to track the truck as long as the air tag stays in there. That does help. I didn't think about doing that. It was a smart move.
So when you said it's plausible that you were using this thread to track his movements, is that what it appears you were doing with this particular thread?
Yes, it does.
You said Kevin had access to it, right?
Yes.
Do you know if Kevin monitored his, you can unpublish this and put up exhibit 4 for the witness, please. Do you know if Kevin monitored Matt's location?
He did.
Let me show you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 4. You recognize this?
Yes, I do.
It was this appeared to be text threads between you and Kevin.
Yes, it is.
Let's go ahead and start on page 1. If we could, sorry, State would move to admit State's Exhibit 4.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
We publish, please. What date is that first text between you and Kevin, at least on this thread?
4/9/2024.
Okay. And then if we could scroll to the next page, please. And scroll down. Yep, that next one. The next thread or next exchange between you two was when?
June 20th, 2024.
So when you said earlier you didn't talk much, you weren't kidding. You don't talk much.
Correct.
Can we please go to page 8 and 9? Okay, what date is on that top message on the right?
June 26th, 2024.
Okay, and what do you say?
What day are you coming back? Wondering for Olaf.
Okay, and hold on. Who's Olaf? Or what is Olaf?
Olaf is our code name that we gave to Matt.
Why did you give him the name of Olaf?
It was Disney. I don't know if there was actually a reason behind it. I've heard.
Speak to your reasons.
I don't remember there being an actual reason. It was just a name that we could give Matt so that when I was talking about Matt to somebody, I would say Olaf and my children would not know who I was talking about.
Okay. But your children weren't present while you were sending this text message, right?
Correct.
Okay, what does he respond with? You asked him when he's coming back, well, actually, let's do this. Where, do you know where he was?
Where Kevin was?
Yeah.
I believe he was in Wendover,
Okay, and what does he tell you there?
Friday late.
Okay, can you scroll down, please. And your response?
Okay, cool.
Okay, keep going. What's he tell you next?
The tag is still active.
And to your knowledge, what is he referring to?
The Apple tag that was in the truck.
Okay. And that's on the 26th of June still.
Yes, it is.
Can you scroll down, please? And what do you ask?
Really?
Had you kind of stopped monitoring it at this point?
I did not have direct access to monitoring it. I had to ask Tara Lynn, Rachel, my mother, or Kevin to see it. I did not have direct access to it.
You didn't have an iPad that had access to it.
No, I did not.
Okay, scroll down. What is his response to you being surprised that the tag is still active?
If I have to rush back, I can make that happen.
Rush back for what?
In case Matt came out, at this point, there was no plan in place. This was for my peace of mind because I was very fearful of Matt.
So when you say no plan in place, no plan to do what?
No plan to murder Matt.
Okay, that hadn't formulated yet. Is that fair?
No, I had not.
But he expressed a willingness to come back and protect you.
Yes.
So now we're at the 26th of June. You said the plan hadn't been formulated yet to kill Matt.
Correct.
When did that start to come together?
I believe about a week and a half before he actually came out.
Okay, so if he came out on, well, what day did he come out?
He came out July 12th,
Okay, so you're saying a week to a week and a half before that.
in the
And-
beginning of July.
So early July.
Yes.
And how did that plan begin to come about?
It was a conversation between me and my mother. We were trying to figure out how I could get out of this marriage. I was fearful that I was going to lose my children.
Okay. And you said the plan started to formulate. What, if anything, did she say to you?
She said we could have him come out and we can shoot him and act like it was self-defense.
Do you remember where you were when you had this conversation?
I believe we were out on the lawn. We had the conversation multiple times, but more often than not, we were out on the back lawn
Okay.
of her townhome.
We'll come back to that here in a minute. So that's the week to week and a half before Matt comes out, right?
Yes.
Did you ever talk to Kevin about that?
Briefly, yes.
Okay. When did you talk to Kevin about that?
I believe it was a couple days beforehand, if not the day of.
So when you say a couple days beforehand, you mean a couple days before the 12th
Yes.
or the day of? You're not sure.
Yes.
Okay. We'll come back to that here in a minute. Was having Matt come out, well, let me back up. What did she tell you would happen when Matt came out?
That she or Kevin would hurt and or kill Matt.
Was that the only plan that you and your mom were talking about to separate from Matt?
I had a conversation with an attorney trying to figure out my options, and I realized that my options were very limited.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about that. Do you remember what day you talked to that attorney?
July 11th.
So the day before,
I believe July 11th. I may be mistaken.
the day before
Yes.
Matt came out, is that right?
Yes.
So you'd already had conversations about having Matt come out and hurting him prior to talking to the attorney?
Yes.
Did you record that call with
I
the
did.
attorney? What'd you do with it once you recorded it?
I sent it to my mother.
you had an opportunity to listen to that call since then?
No, I have not.
At least part of that call?
I believe here in court.
Okay. State would move at this time to admit State's Exhibit 5.
Any objection? So admitted, thank you.
State would move to publish the first 4 minutes of that phone call.
Any objection to that? No. All right, thank you.
Are you on hold here?
I am. I'm waiting to speak with them.
It sounds like there's another voice besides yours. Who are you talking to?
That is Kevin's voice.
Where were you taking this call?
I believe I was upstairs in the primary bedroom, and Kevin's room is very close. And I don't recall what we were talking about, but that is Kevin's voice.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and continue.
So which guy was talking about?
Come here. I think. I don't know where Chip is. I have no idea. I just ran downstairs and
I think that's the right one.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. All right, so has anything been filed as of yet?
No, I'm at a loss.
You're at a loss as how to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. Did you move out or did he move out?
I am technically not moved out. I am on vacation.
Does he know it?
Councilors,
Does he know I'm on vacation? Yes.
I'm getting feedback.
So am I.
It wasn't this bad last time. I think last time you actually had to end up playing it on the computer.
Used an external speaker last time.
Let's try it one more time. Let's back it up. Try a different setting.
Learned from his dad.
Huh?
Learned from his dad.
Which guy was he talking about?
Come here. I think. I don't know where Chip is.
Well,
I have no idea. I just ran downstairs and
I think that's the right one.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. All right, so has anything been filed as of yet?
No, I'm at a loss.
You're at a loss as how to move forward?
Yes.
Okay. Did you move out or did he move out?
I am technically not moved out. I am on vacation.
Does he know it?
Does he know I'm on vacation? Yes.
No, does he know that you're leaving?
No, and that's because I'm so scared.
All right, so let's start off. Has there been domestic violence?
It's a lot of verbal abuse. He hits the kids, and so
Are we talking about spanking? Like your
just
butts, or are we
aggressively grabbing the kids. I don't know.
Okay. Do you have financial help to get out?
So I'm at my mother's house in Utah, and I don't want to go home.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also if you left Utah and he wasn't happy about it, he could file something and yank you back really quick, or at least yank the kids back. And where the kids go, you will go. So going to Utah unless he gives you permission. Like, for example, he says, okay, Leah, let's take a time out. You can go to Utah for a while with the kids. And he gives that to you in text, so you've got proof. Shit, you can go to Utah and never come back. As long as you get them established up there, get your 6-year-old started in school and get your life established there before he files anything or starts to think about doing anything, then he has a much harder time of getting you to come back.
So
That's assuming you want to be in Utah.
no, I do want to be in Utah. In Utah, it takes 3 months to establish residency as an adult and then 6 months for a child.
Okay. If he
I want to talk about a couple of things we discussed with the attorney. First, you told him at the outset that he hits the kids.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
But then you clarified. What did he actually do to the kids?
He grabs them aggressively. And
Right? Like
just-
how?
Just pulls them out of a chair too hard.
Like by the arm?
Yes.
Okay. But doesn't hit them.
No, doesn't hit them. Spanks them, but doesn't hit them.
Sure. And you clarified that he doesn't hit you,
Correct.
but a lot of emotional abuse.
Yes.
How did you feel after that call about your options of divorce?
I felt like they were very, very minimal.
I'm going to show you what's been previously marked, just the witness, Estates Exhibit 6, please. Is that on your screen?
Yes.
You recognize that conversation?
Yes, I do.
State it is appeared to be an accurate representation of your conversation with the Chris Walnick.
I'm sorry, say that
Does it
again.
appear to be an accurate representation of your communication with Chris Walnick?
Yes.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 6.
Any objection? No. So admitted, thank you.
Who is Chris? We can publish it, please. Who is Chris Walnick?
He was one of my really good friends I've known for about a decade.
Okay. On the 8th of July, what does he say to you?
He said, 3 more days till you meet with a lawyer. How are you holding up?
So is it fair to say he was aware you were going to be meeting with a lawyer on the 11th?
Yes.
Let's go to page 4, please. Scroll up one more page, so 3. Okay. What does he say to you on the 11th?
He asked he said, how did your attorney meeting go?
Okay, and scroll down to the next. What was your response?
Honestly, I'm fucked.
So you didn't feel like you had a good chance to divorce and keep the kids with you in Utah, did you?
No, I did not.
You discussed this with your mother?
Yes, I did.
And you sent her the attorney call, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you know whether or not she listened to it?
I have no idea.
We can unpublish that. Did you send that recording to anybody else?
I believe I tried to send it to Carolyn. I don't recall if it actually went through to her, but I do remember wanting to send it to her.
Did anybody help prepare you for that phone call?
I don't recall.
Okay. You didn't talk, did you remember if you talked to anybody in advance of what you should tell the lawyer?
I probably said things in passing with my mother.
Okay. So to be clear, this is the evening of the 11th. You find out that in your words, I'm fucked. Right?
Yes.
Earlier that day, had you been having communication with Matt?
I believe so, yes.
And what was the content of that communication?
That he wanted me to come home.
Okay. And what did you say?
I agreed.
We could show State's Exhibit. I'm going to introduce these in a batch, if that's all right, Mr. Basemeyer. If we could show her Exhibit 7 through 10, please. We'll take them one at a time. This is what's been marked as State's Exhibit 7. This appeared to be a conversation between you and Matt on the 11th.
Yes, it does.
The state would move to admit State's Exhibit 7.
Any objection? No. Thank you, so
Okay,
admitted.
and if we could show her 8, please. This appeared to be a continuation of that conversation on, if you scroll down, please. with Matt on the 12th.
Yes.
Say we move to admit State's Exhibit 8.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
Then number 9, please. This appeared to be a conversation, a continuation of that communication with Matt the evening of the 12th.
Yes, it does.
Say we move to admit State's Exhibit 9.
Any objection? So ordered, thank you.
Then finally, State's Exhibit 10, please. Scroll down, please. Okay, this appeared to be a communication between you and your mom
Yes, it does.
on the 11th.
Yes.
Okay, say we move to admit State's Exhibit 10.
Any objection to that one? Thank you, so admitted.
We're gonna go through these if we can. You testified earlier that you and your mom discussed having Matt drive out and that he would be either harmed or killed. Was that
Yes.
your earlier testimony?
Yes, it is.
I could show you states 10 and page 1. We can publish that for the jury, please. Okay, scroll down to the 11th, please. Okay, what is that text message? What time is that text message sent?
On the July 11th at 8:07 a.m.
And who are you talking to in this text message?
It's a text message to my mom.
Okay, and at 8:07 a.m., what do you say to your mom?
Said Matt doesn't want to drive out.
Is it fair to
So that's page 11.
page 1 on the 11th? Good.
Yeah, it's page 11.
No, you're good. Matt doesn't want to drive out. What
Correct.
is that in reference to?
Matt not wanting to drive out to Utah.
Had you been talking about it with Matt?
We had talked about me coming home.
Okay. And was one of the options for him to come get you? Did you present that to him?
I did present that to him. He wasn't keen on the idea.
Did you present that option to him prior to this message on the 11th?
Yes.
And after your conversation with your mom about what would happen if he came out?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
You had the conversation a week to week and a half before he came out
Yes.
about what would happen if he came out.
Yes.
And on the 11th, you're telling your mother he doesn't want to drive out.
Correct.
So is it fair to say you were trying to get Matt to drive out to Utah?
Yes, I was.
Do you know why he was resistant to that?
I believe it was because the truck wasn't running as well as it could have. That was also part of the reason why I didn't drive the truck out to Utah.
Back on the 20th. of June.
Yes.
Go to the next message, please. Okay. What do you say next to your mom?
He's depositing money for me to rent a car.
Okay. Scroll down, please. What does she say to you?
Nope.
What did that mean to you?
That I would not be renting a car.
Okay. Scroll down, please. Read that message.
Well, we will just stay with you spraining your ankle.
She says stay with you. Had you talked about spraining your ankle prior to this?
Not literally spraining my ankle, but acting like I had sprained my ankle, my right ankle to be exact, that I could not drive a vehicle with a sprained ankle.
And you and your mom had talked about that before this text exchange.
Yes.
Okay, scroll down, please. Next, can you read that next one, please?
And just keep putting him off.
And this is all the morning of the 11th, correct?
Yes, it is.
And you had the conversation with the attorney on the evening of the 11th.
I don't recall what time I had the conversation with the attorney.
Okay, fair enough. Next one, please. She says what?
It's fine.
Okay, scroll down to the next. And what do you say in response to that?
Yep, if you deposit money, then I can use it to pay for the lawyer.
And scroll down. What does that say?
He had corrected myself
So what did you mean to say in the text above?
that he would be depositing money, then I would use it to pay for the lawyer because the lawyer was charging for the consult.
Okay. And scroll down, please. What does your mom say in response to that?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next page.
My
What
mother's,
what does your mom say there?
it would be $550 for the rental, $550 deposit, and $300 gas.
What time does she send that to you?
On the 11th at 9:25 in the morning.
And what's your response to your mom?
I'll tell him.
And is that what you did?
Yeah, I believe I copy pasted that message right into a message to him.
We could publish states 7, page 1. Is that what you're talking about right there? Is that the copy and paste?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, what time did you send that to Matt?
At 10:03 in the morning.
So after your mom had sent it to you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to exhibit 10, please. Page 5. Okay. Continuing this conversation with your mom, what do you say to her?
I said, yes, he wants me to leave tomorrow.
Scroll down.
I have to make arrangements for the car today. Arrangements being in quotes
Why'd you put it in quotes?
because I wasn't really going to make arrangements.
Scroll down, please. What does your mom say in response to that?
Can't drive with that ankle.
Okay. Again, this is the fictitious ankle that you were going to pretend sprain,
Yes.
making it so you couldn't drive to Utah or to California.
Correct.
Continue on, please. What's your response?
Exactly.
Continue.
Ouch. It hurts so bad.
Next one. And your mom says what?
I'll find some crutches.
Okay, keep going.
I know we can wrap it and make it look swollen under the wrap.
Okay, go read that next one.
I need to shower and leave in 2 minutes.
And this is from your mom to you, correct? That one was.
That one was from my mom to me, yes.
Okay, and your response on the next one?
D, I have them. I has them. I don't know what I was.
Could that be in reference to the crutches? DI.
Oh, DI has them. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what that is.
Okay, control that. Keep going. Go to the next one, please. Okay, let's pause there. If you could please, so while you're having this conversation with your mom, are you continuing to talk to Matt?
I am.
Okay, if we could show states 7, page 2. Please publish that. Okay, who's this message from?
This is from Matt to me.
And what does he tell you?
Tomorrow, Enterprise, 385 Main Street, American Fork, Toyota Corolla, $200 deposit, $182.33 rental is reserved. Pay in person with debit card at 8 a.m. All paperwork must be caped.
Okay, and what time did he send that to you?
He sent that to me at 10:59 a.m. on the 11th.
What did you do as soon as you received that message?
I copy pasted it to my mother.
Can we show, please publish states 10, page 8. Is that the message that you copy and pasted?
It is.
You guys continue to, in this text thread, continue to talk about the sprained ankle and not going back.
I believe so.
If we could please, so then what do you do with this information that Matt had given you about the enterprise?
Nothing really. I understood that having an out-of-state driver's license, I could not rent a car with a debit card. It needed to be a major credit card.
Okay. Let's Let's go to page 12, please, of exhibit 10. What does your mom say to you about that concept?
Wait until tomorrow to tell him.
What's your response?
Duh.
And what's her next comment that she makes?
Don't let him tell the kids. He will see them soon.
And your response?
LMFAO.
What is that an acronym for?
Laughing my fucking ass off.
You could please show published exhibit 8. Did you tell Matt on the 11th that you weren't gonna be able to rent their car?
I did not tell him on the 11th that I could not rent the car. I told him on the 12th that I was not able to rent the car.
Right. You kept this idea going through the next morning, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, on state 8, can you please scroll up? Okay, is that your, on the right, is that your last message to him on the 11th?
It seems to be yes.
Okay, what time is that?
10:16 p.m.
On the 11th of July?
Yes.
Okay, and then scroll down. This appeared to be your first message to him the morning of the 12th.
Yes.
And what do you say to him?
Good morning, getting up and getting moving. Excited for today.
And what's his response?
I am over the moon. Can't wait to hug and kiss you all.
Okay. You're continuing this idea. Is it fair to say that you're continuing this idea that you're going home today
Yes.
and that you're going to rent the car and you'll be driving home?
Yes.
We can go back to published exhibit 10, please, page 20. This is back to your conversation with your mom.
Yes.
Scroll down to the next one, please. Okay, so about the same time that Matt and you were texting, what time is this text message between you and your mom?
7:54 in the morning on the 12th.
And what does she say to you?
Darn that rental place for not taking a debit card.
Okay, and the next one, what's your response to her?
I have to be more upset.
And then if we could go to the page, bottom of page 21. Actually, sorry, go to the next 2 messages, please. Okay, skip this one, but then read that second one.
It might help your story if you say you were there and they said no.
Okay, do you do that?
Yes, I drove over to the rental car place and I walked in. I said, "Can I rent a car with a debit card and an out-of-state license, out-of-state driver's license?" The lady told me no, and I said, "Okay," and I walked out.
Did you tell her you already had a reservation?
No, I did not.
So you go, well, let me ask you, have you previously heard an audio from the morning of the 12th of you at the home asking someone to watch your children?
Yes, I recall that.
At this time, the state would ask to admit State's Exhibit 11.
Any objection? Thank you, so admitted.
State would move to publish State's 11.
I need to work with this for 5 minutes because I need to go to the rental car place to make my story plausible that I need to go over there and they need to turn me away and say, no, we cannot rent you this car because your driver's license is out of state. Thank you.
Who are you talking to?
I'm sorry, with Kevin.
Yeah, and did you ask him to watch your children while you went to the rental car agency?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 12. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
It appeared to be your call log from the 13th and before.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we would admit State's Exhibit 12.
Any objections? No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You know, Mr. Facemeyer and I approach?
Certainly.
Okay, and that has taken us back through the lunch break. They got the longest lunch break that I've ever seen. So it's 12:20 here. So I think they got about 10 more minutes in regards to their lunch break. So I guess my question to you guys is that with seeing her on the stand, she's so nonchalant. Like, yeah, we did that shit. And yeah, my mom is guilty. And yeah, I came up here because I want to now say that, you know, I feel guilty for redrumming my husband, baby daddy, aka whatever he like, just so matter of fact about it. Oh gosh, I know Kevin is like, how did he get himself involved with this mess here? Maybe caring about his sister too much or whatever the case may be, but it's crazy the way this all went down for no reason, because this guy, it's like heartbreaking because he just really Matthew, regardless of whatever they want to call him or whatever they want to say about him, this guy, he really just really wanted to go see his kids. Like, he was excited. Can you imagine? And he walked through this house and he was completely ambushed. He didn't even take his, I don't even know. They say he took his shoes off, but I don't even know if he took his shoes off all the way. It gets deeper and very disturbing because he did not. Yeah, the fact that he drove that far, right, George? Welcome in. He like drove to his own death. Ain't that about a bitch? Sorry, excuse my French. Like, I think all of them should go up under the jail cell. Like, ain't that about something? He didn't. I don't know. I can't remember how long the drive is. We talk about from California all the way to Utah. How long is that drive? Wasn't it like 8 hours or something? And all he wanted to do was see his kids. He didn't even want to come in the house and have pleasantries with these mofos. He didn't want to come in. And she convinced him on that phone to come in. She told him all of that stuff in order for him to come in, y'all. I forgot how long. I don't know, but it's like, I guess it depends on where you're coming from in California, but it had to be like at least 8 hours. Can you imagine being tired? 11-hour drive, like being, ain't that about a, I'm telling you, that ain't that about a, man. He done drove all this way. He didn't want to come in the house because him and the mama don't get along. She done went and did all this ring around the rosy. Okay, we gonna put the cardboard up under the so you won't leak in the driveway. She made it feel safe, and she knew it was so unsafe. This man probably was tired, and all he wanted to do was see his damn kids. Like, and I mean, he wanted to see her. He wanted his wife back. But I'm assuming that they could have came to some type of better resolution where she didn't have to go to the whole effect of getting him all the way out of the picture. I mean, she played this game alone. even if her mom was putting this stuff in her head, like, girl, you got a brain. Yeah, he just wanted to go see his kids. I don't blame him in no shade, way, form, or fashion. So if she said that he had to come in, fine. Because remember, at first she had presented, hey, well, my mom, she gonna go stay at the hotel, so you don't have to worry about her. She won't be here. So just in case you're tired, remember, because he's on the road for a long period of time. Just in case you're tired, we can lay down. My mom says she'll leave the house. So that testimony, I don't know if it has came in just yet, but something like that is gonna come into that effect. Because remember, she testified in her brother's trial, so it's kind of still like the same testimony. In a way. So yeah, it's just so heartbreaking. It's so disturbing. Then for her to sit up here talking about she wants some justice. Well, if we're gonna start off with justice, how about we start off with this? Instead of you trying to see about if you can get out early, or if there's some kind of parole, or if there's some type of plea deal, how about you put your big girl draws on, them real big girl draws, and take it. She should have been up on the stand like, look, I'm trying to seek justice, so I don't even want to be released, Your Honor. I want to sit here and pay the time for the crime that I participated in. I'm not looking for any type of mercy or anything. I think I should sit in jail for the remainder of my days for participating in this. But no, she ain't going to do that shit. Nope. Because if you want to start off with justice, let's start off with justice right there. They coming back from their lunch.
Let's go back on the record in the matter of State versus Grist, case number 241101170. I understand the entire jury is back. Before we bring them out, is there anything the state needs to put on the record, Mr. Brown?
No, not on the record, although I don't see Mike Brown in the courtroom yet.
Oh, nothing for Mr. Facebar. Mr. Watabe, would you step out in the hallway and see if Mr. Mike Brown is out? Maybe we can bring him in. We'll need him before he can bring the jury back. Mr. Pomeroy, you didn't see Mr. Mike Brown out there, did you?
I did.
Would you ask him to come in? We're ready to go.
I will.
Thank you.
Here he is. Look how good I am.
It's almost like Watabe follows instructions.
Not often. That's why I sent out Mr. Pomeroy. Mr. Brown, is there anything you wish to put on the record before we bring the jury back? You're welcome to sit up front if you'd like.
Can I sit next to you?
Absolutely. I've got plenty of space.
Oh, I'm good. I'll hang out back here.
All right. Let's bring the jury back. You could even use my gavel, Mr. Brown, if you'd like. Sir, can you take off your hat? We are in court.
All right, for the jury.
So I just did 12. We do 13 to 18 as a batch.
Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hope you had a good lunch. Thank you for being back on time. We were all a little bit early, so there's nothing wrong with starting 2 or 3 minutes early. Ms. Restelli, I'm going to remind you that you're still under oath from your oath from this morning. Mr. Brown, I'll turn the time back to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could we please publish State's Exhibit 12, which was admitted just prior to the break? And if we can please go to page 6. Just prior to ending, Kate, we admitted your phone records from the 12th and the 13th. Over the course of the 12th, while Matt was traveling out here, did you have several phone calls with him?
I did.
Do you remember recording those calls?
I do.
And you remember hearing those on a previous occasion?
I do.
Do those calls appear to be an accurate reflection of what was discussed between the two of you in those phone calls?
It does.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to admit as a batch states 13 through 18. I'm not publishing them quite yet, but I'm moving to admit them.
Any objections so far, Mr. Leesmeyer? Thank you. States exhibits 13 through 18 are admitted as a batch that will be published later.
I want to draw your attention to, so when we ended, you had told Matt that you couldn't rent the car, right?
Correct.
What was his response to you?
He was frustrated with me.
Okay. What did he, and did you end up having a phone call with him about alternate plans about what to do?
I did.
This time the state would, if I could show, if you could please, line 48. What time do you reach out to Matt?
8:55 a.m.
Okay. We could go ahead and publish states exhibit 13, please.
Exhibit 13 is published.
I'm at a loss right now, Matt.
Okay, just chill out.
They won't rent me the car.
Okay, we'll have your mom rent it.
She doesn't have money on her credit card.
Okay, so what do you gotta do? Can you rent it through Tim or somebody else? Anybody?
Nobody has credit cards with that money on it.
How much money more do you need?
I can't do it with my debit card because I have an out-of-state license.
Okay, so what do you need me to do? Like, what are you thinking?
I don't know.
Okay, just chill out. Do you need to put money in a different? Can your mom call her credit card and extend it?
No, they need money.
So, do you need me to put more money in your account?
No, because they won't rent it to me because I have a debit card and an out-of-state license plate or an out-of-state driver's license. If I had an in-state driver's license and a debit card, they would do it. Like, they don't even care that I have a good driving record. They don't care that, like, I was just rented with them 3 weeks ago.
Okay, but that obviously that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So, who are you down there with right now? You're with Timmy?
No, I came back home to assess it.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm not gonna sit down there at the Enterprise place as I'm like trying to figure out what to do. It's only 5 minutes away. I can go back down there. It's no problem.
Okay. Well, just take a deep breath, obviously. So,
Yeah.
does Tim or Angie have a credit card?
No. I don't know.
So, how can you rent a car with them yourself?
I don't know.
So, if your mom had money, like, how could she have money? How could she have money?
It's like $1,000. Well, she's had a hard week this week because the water kept being turned off. So she didn't make as much money as she would normally.
I know, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just
I
trying
know
to
you're
figure out
not
how to
giving me a hard time. I'm explaining stuff to you as best as I can.
So, do you need to move that money from your account, take it out, and put it into her account?
I don't know if that would work.
In the account?
Huh?
You need me to go at 9 o'clock and put more money in your account, and then send it all over to your mom's account, and just rent the car in her name?
No, because then I can't drive it.
Well, she leaves with it. Say she leaves with
But
it.
if there's any problem on the way home, I'm fucked. If there's any sort of hiccup on the way home, I'm fucked.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to deal with what we're trying to.
I understand that. I don't want to be fucked on the way home and being like, oh, well, where's Tracy? And it's like, oh, she's not here.
Like, you mean when you get all the way down here kind of thing?
Huh?
Like when you return the car kind of thing?
Yeah, that would, yeah, she would have to return that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because she would have to return the car. Wow.
I don't think our 250 should be driving up that far.
Really?
Well, I mean, I guess I could. I don't have a trip permit though, so if I get pulled over right now, I mean, I guess I could call Robert and try to borrow the trip permit.
Well, how much is registration? Can you get it registered?
just like, it's just terrifying to me because I'm hitting the starter with a hammer, Kate, and I don't have money for a starter right now because I have to pay our downs bill in like 5 days, 6 days. So like, I'm just trying to juggle this at the same time I'm trying to juggle the I just think it's pushing.
Well, then it just sounds like we don't have money right now. We just gotta wait a little bit more until we have more money.
I have like another I can go return the starter. Like I bought another starter, but I have like $600 more, and I have no money for that until.
Well, no, because we need the gas card to stay on for the drive home.
It will stay on. I don't have it. I still have to stay on. Right now it's good for 12. So I have to pay it like. I just don't think it's a great idea for me to drive the 250 that far. Like I have nobody to watch the place either. Like.
But it would only be a solid day of you being gone. I don't know. I feel like we just need to make it a better plan. I feel like we need to do a little bit more research.
I did all that. That's sad because I called and asked her all these questions.
I know. And I was ready and they said, "Oh, a debit card and an out-of-state license? No. That doesn't work."
That's what I asked her.
Well, she obviously doesn't know.
And then it's the policy. She can't fudge anything.
Right, because it's a fucking $50,000 car.
Oh.
I know. I know. I feel the same way.
Katie, I have tunnels laid in the truck just so that I can lay underneath the truck and hit the starter with a hammer. Like, and it has a little oil leak. I mean, like, I'm like even working for Robert. Like, I'm sitting there terrified that I'm gonna break down the intersection still, like towing trailers and just trying to get this done. Stress is killing me right now. It's not really about me right now. I'm just saying it's just harsh, you know.
I get
I
it.
got tools in the back. I got straps. Like I've just been like busting my ass. I have the truck parked in the shop area because if it doesn't start, I have to hit the starter and I'm laid on the concrete.
Matt, I did what I could today.
I mean, will Jack let me borrow her car to go get you? If I, like,
That's a
throw
big
something,
ask.
I could pay her. Like, do you know anyone that would let me borrow their car? Like safely? Like I'm not on drugs or anything.
What about your mom?
It just sucks that they have to go all the way to fucking Orange County to go get it. No. Like,
Yeah.
I would actually ask them probably to drive out here and drop it off with me. Like,
Right.
I would rather like ask someone in the neighborhood here.
You can't just roll the dice with the truck. It's that fucking sketchy.
I could call. Just the thing is, here's what's going on. If I call Robert and ask for the moving permit, I'm just saying like he's gonna find out soon that I got the Ortiz deal, and he might not be very happy, but it's still my customer first, and I'm trying to avoid too much involvement, like too much desperation with the neighbor right across the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sick to my stomach.
Well, I mean, we got insurance. I wouldn't even, if I did that, I would basically drive straight there and I wouldn't even turn the fucking truck off the whole damn drive. The truck would be on for 20 hours. So, you know. I mean, I could call him and ask him if I could borrow the truck permit for like 30 more days.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hang on. What happened? What happened? Cheyenne, what happened? What happened?
He was being annoying, and I just lost all my patience.
Well, then you need to walk.
At me.
You're throwing his phone?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
You're not gonna yell at me though.
Shine
Do not throw the phone because
No.
do not throw the phone because I will take away your iPad for the day. Do not give me a grumpy face. No, I am trying to figure stuff out today. Please don't do this. Be kind. Be kind. I don't know. I think it was also. No, it was the water being turned off that really threw the wrench in the gears.
Call Robert. I don't have any other choice. I really wish I could ask for, I wish I could just drive the damn highlighter the whole. But like you said, it's kind of annoying to ask all that. I'm just driving.
It's a big ask.
Let me call you back in a minute.
Okay. Okay.
Please publish states 12.
Which one?
12.
Exhibit 12 published.
The $600 that he gave you, you could have put it towards your mom's credit card, right?
The credit card was not the issue.
But you could have rented the car with the credit card.
I could have, yes.
Okay. Immediately after getting off the phone with Matt, that call we just heard was at 8:55, so number 48 lasted 10 minutes. Immediately after getting off the phone with him, who do you try and call? At 9:05.
It's like my mom. I call my mom at 9:05.
And then, but you don't reach her though, right? It doesn't look like it.
Yes.
And then you talk to Matt again, correct?
Yes.
State moves to publish, states 14, phone call from 9:07.
Any objection?
No, you're.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't have YouTube.
Still stop.
Mommy,
Like
I
they-
don't have YouTube.
Stop.
YouTube. You.
Let's go watch YouTube. Why are you yelling at me? Sorry, I was taking out my earbud and he's just like screaming, running around like a fucking crazy person. I don't have YouTube. I don't have YouTube. Like, you kidding me? Like, can you tell I'm under a lot of stress right now? Like, what the fuck?
I think we can ship a car back to.
That's so expensive.
It's not as bad as you think. Just trying to think of, I can call Park Freight Trucking and see what it'll cost to have one of the cars just transported back.
I'm not borrowing their cars. Jacob uses the car every day. Rory uses her car every day. And my mom uses her car every day. And Kevin's car cannot make it to California.
Okay.
So these cars are not options out here. I know, it's frustrating.
Frustrating is if Robert just answered his phone and said yes, that would be the plan, and I'd just be going with that right now, and I wouldn't talk about it anymore.
Okay, well,
But now I texted him what my intentions are, so a lot of times when I text him intentions,
right, he reads it and then gets back to you.
he gets all distant. He either steps up or he gets all distant, like, because he doesn't like borrow his track loader to like do some mowing.
Uh-huh.
But he's calling her and didn't answer.
Okay, bye.
What does Matt say there at the end? Who's calling him?
Robert.
And who is Robert again in this situation?
Robert is our neighbor.
And is that who you're trying to borrow the truck permit from?
Yes.
So there, it's fair to say, you say borrowing anyone's cars here, not an option.
Correct.
You can please publish states 15.
Any objection? Thank you.
And actually, before you publish that, when's the next? So that was a call between you and Matt at 9:08 p.m. If you could please go to the next page, to page 5.
9:08 a.m.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. 9:08 a.m. That's right. No other direction. There you go. When's the next call you have with Matt?
At 9:15.
Okay, go to please publish. Date's 15.
Hey,
Hey, what?
what's going on with you?
I'm gonna go get the trip permit from Robert right now.
Okay, you gonna drive out today?
I don't have a choice.
What do you mean you don't have a choice? Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if you were rested and ready.
What's that?
I wasn't sure if you were rested and ready.
I'm rested enough, but I gotta get the dogs like fully fed and left. Okay, and I don't plan on turning the truck off. Should I even get the starter on the way out? Should I replace my starter and then go?
Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to town then and get the starter and then come back and work on the truck and then get the dogs ready. It's gonna be a long fucking day.
You know,
So, okay.
I know. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I gotta get going though for a while. Okay.
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 Okay, sounds good.
I'll call you in a little bit. I'm gonna call you in like an hour. You gotta let me do some time.
Okay,
I gotta go return a starter, and I can't drive out there without a starter that works.
okay,
So I gotta swap the starter. So I have to go to town. I gotta go to Roberts, go to town, put the starter on, feed the dogs, get ready to go, eat. And I don't know how the truck's gonna be kind of dirty. Like you're not gonna shit talk like tools in there and fucking shit on the bed.
no,
Mommy, I'm hungry.
okay, I'll feed you.
I
Give me-
gotta go. I'll call you in a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye.
So 9:15 phone call, you find out he's driving out.
Yes.
Did your voice like falter in that phone call?
It does. I realize what I'm doing.
And just so we're clear, what was it? What did you realize you were doing?
Planning his murder. Setting him up for failure.
Conflicted about that?
I'm sorry.
Were you a little conflicted about that?
I was.
We could please publish states 10. That call with that call with Mao was at 9:15, lasted for about 1:45. And then 10, page 22.
You said 10?
Yes. Go to page 22, please. Scroll down. This is the text thread between you and your mother. At 9:17 a.m., what do you tell her?
He's going to drive out.
And what is her response to you?
I'll call you.
We could please go back to states 12, page 5. Do you in fact talk to your mom that morning?
I do.
I'm going to point out line 42. What time is that phone call and who is it with?
11:39 with my mom for 5 minutes and 22 seconds.
Do you remember what you talked about during that phone call?
Just talked about her coming home early to be able to get things ready.
Did you talk about anything else that you remember?
Not that I remember, just plans about the day and how she's going to cancel her appointments and head home.
Did you talk about any roles that you would play moving forward with Matt?
I don't know if that was on the call, but I know that I discussed with her that I would keep him calm and keep him coming out and just play the good wife.
And is that what you did in the remaining phone calls with Matt?
I
that day?
believe so, yes.
We could scroll up a little bit on this call log. When's the next phone call that you have with Matt?
at 11:50.
You try and
The
call
one
him?
that he answered.
Mhm.
So at 11:55, I talked to him for 11 minutes.
We're only going to publish the first 3 minutes of that. If you could please publish date 16.
Any objection?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Cool. Just past Butterfield. I'm leaving. I'm getting on the freeway in about 5 minutes.
Cool.
So, got peaceful food.
Awesome.
Dogs. Right when I went to leave, there was like a tweaker car in front, so I had to like ask them if they needed help, and then they said they're letting their fans cool down, and then they took off.
Okay.
So I was like, shit, I have to wait for their tow truck to get them out of here. Fuck. So I would have canceled if they were out in front for right now. So it's all good though.
Yeah.
But I think when I get there, I don't think I want to turn the truck off.
Okay.
So I just want to get the car seats in, load up, and just kind of take off. Is that going to be doable?
Yeah, you'll be here late.
Yeah, no.
So.
And then you'll take off, and then you'll take over driving.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I'll take over after that, and then we'll get home.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah. So if you're not turning off the truck,
No, I could. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I got a new starter, and it should be fine.
Okay.
That's under warranty if it's
Mommy.
not. So.
I'm hungry.
Okay, I'll make you a sandwich just a minute. Let me talk. Do you want to say hi to Daddy?
No.
Oh. Are you sure?
No.
He's on the phone. You can just say hi, Daddy.
Why did you get? Oh, hi, baby. Why'd you want me to turn off the truck?
No, I was just the parking situation. That's all, because you have the parking spots that are by the clubhouse, but you can't. There's no street parking. So if you're in the street, you're in the street. Or
Yeah.
you
So
can-
how do we get loaded up?
We'll just
And
be
I don't
just
have a
park.
charger. I'm 97%. So.
Okay, well,
I'll
just
probably turn my phone off when I get by Vegas to conserve some energy. You know.
okay. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, probably just pull right up in front of the house, you know?
Yeah, and then we'll just load up. How long is it gonna take? Like 15 minutes to load up?
Yeah, not long at all.
Yeah, I'm not trying to rush you. I just don't
No.
want to risk the truck. That's all, you know.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
You gonna come inside?
So,
Are you gonna come inside and help me load up?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The front door is always unlocked, okay?
Okay. Well, I'll turn my nav on when I get all the way out there because I got to pass Provo, right?
Yeah.
What's the nearest town like before I just so I can turn my phone off?
When you get to Provo, you should probably have your phone on.
In there, you ask if he's going to turn the truck off and ask if he's going to come inside.
Correct.
Why did you ask him that?
So you could come inside so my brother could shoot him.
Why did you tell him that the door was unlocked?
So you would just come in.
After, if we could publish states 12 again, please. Page 4. Line 29. Is it fair to say that you had a variety of phone calls with your siblings and your mother after that call?
Yes.
Okay, line 29, who are you speaking to and what time is it?
Talking to Rachel, and it's 12:48 in the afternoon.
And how long do you speak for?
About 20 minutes.
If we go to line 28, please. Okay. Who are you talking to on line 28?
My mom,
Okay, what time's that?
12:58 for 7 minutes, almost 8.
Do you remember having a group call with your mom and Rachel Jorgensen at that time?
I don't remember it being a group call, but it's absolutely plausible.
Remember what was discussed with Rachel?
I believe if it was anything, it was having Rory go out to Rachel's house for the evening. But I don't know if I was actually on that call.
Did you tell her why Rory should go to her house in Ogden?
No. No.
Okay, so that call with your mom, if it was 7 minutes long or roughly 8 minutes long at 12:58, would have ended shortly after 1 o'clock. Is that fair? About 1:05?
Yes.
We could please publish states 10 again. Page 23. Scroll down. Yes, pause right there. 11:45 a.m. What is that from your mom?
I believe that's a screenshot of Matt's location.
Okay, let's scroll down to the next one. What time is that text message?
2:07 p.m. And it's from my mom. And she said, I'm meeting Kevin for sushi.
What did that mean to you?
That they were going to meet for sushi. I know what they talked about. I don't know what they talked about, but I know what that sushi meeting was for.
What was your understanding of what that sushi meeting was for?
They were going to talk details about how the night was going to go.
And again, to be clear, when you say how the night was going to go,
Planning Matt's murder.
well, your mom, she sends that message to you at 2:07, right?
Yeah.
And then if we could please jump to, of this same exhibit. Page 26. Scroll down. Right there from your mom. What did she say to you at 2:19?
She says, hey there, please let Matt know that he's welcome to spend the night if he's too tired after driving all day. I promise I'll stay away and I will be as sweet as candy.
Scroll down, please. And what's your response?
Okay.
And then her next text message.
Or else if you guys want, I can give you $100 or so towards a hotel so you can stop if you need to.
Okay, and your response to that?
Okay, I'll tell him.
Please continue to the next page. Read that one from your mom, please, at 2:20.
I'm not trying to get in your business at all. I just want him to know that if he needs to rest, he can rest at the house, or we can get a hotel room for you guys, or maybe you could just start driving to go back because you will not have driven all day the way he did.
Okay, and then
Even a hotel room in St. George might be okay.
and then your response. Go ahead and read that one. Go ahead and read that one for your mom too, and then we'll read your response.
$200 for a hotel room I can handle, as opposed to the rental car on the way back.
Okay, and then your response to him,
Okay, on the phone with him now.
and finally her response to you. What was your understanding of these messages? Well, I'm sorry, let me back up. Did you relay those messages to Matt?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, what was the purpose of relaying those messages to Matt?
To make him feel that there were many options and that he wasn't stuck with one option, wasn't stuck driving home, wasn't stuck staying at my mom's house. There were options
To be
to
clear,
keep driving.
at 2:20 p.m., were you going home?
No,
State moves to publish. Sorry, actually, let's go back to Exhibit 12, please. So those text messages with your mom were at 2:20 p.m. Would you please read line 25, who you talked to and what time it was?
I talked to Matt at 2:20 for 6 minutes and 32 seconds.
Line 25. Okay. State would move to publish that 2:20 call.
Any objection? What exhibit number is that?
That's number 17, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any objection, Mr. Facebar? No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just the first minute 30.
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. What's going on?
I'm just glad to see how your drive is going.
I'm just passing that abandoned water park.
Oh, fun, cool.
Yeah. I just like ran out and looking at it.
Yeah, my mom said if you're too tired, when you get here, that you can always sleep here. She said she'll keep her distance. She'll actually be asleep.
Oh my gosh. I'm just not gonna talk. That's all.
Okay, or if we want, we can get a hotel. She said she'll give us $100 towards it.
No. It's not like that. I just wanna see my baby, see you. I brought my pillow and everything else.
Right.
So I'm really worried about it. So what do you want to do?
I want you to be comfortable.
I will be. I just because
Okay.
once I have my family.
Okay, well, good.
All I
Good,
want.
awesome.
Yeah. So cool. I'll just keep
Awesome.
trucking along here.
Okay. This call would have happened around 2:20 in the afternoon
Yes.
while Kevin and your mother were at sushi, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember when they got home from sushi?
Probably about an hour later.
Did you have any conversations with them when they got home from sushi?
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
Out on
what do
the
you-
lawn.
I'm sorry.
Out on the lawn.
Okay, and what do you remember about that conversation?
Just finalizing details about how the night was going to go. I don't know if Kevin was on the lawn. I can't remember everything. I'm pretty sure he was out there, and it was just discussed that Matt was going to be there shortly at 10 o'clock, and that where I was going to be upstairs. Kevin was going to be downstairs watching a movie, but not really watching a movie. And my mom was going to be wherever she was going to be.
Did Kevin say anything in that conversation that you recall?
Not much.
Who did most of the talking?
My mother.
You mentioned earlier when I asked you if you'd ever talked to Kevin and your mom about this, you said yes, a few days before or maybe the day of. You remember that, your testimony earlier today?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the conversation that you were referring to?
It's one of the conversations. I know that when I found out Matt was coming out, I went into Kevin's room. I almost sent him a text message, and I was like, no, I'm not going to send him a text message. But I knocked on his door and I said, Matt's coming out. And I was very tearful, and he knew what I meant, and he knew what was going to happen. I guess that's more hearsay, but he knew.
You told him
Yeah.
that Matt was coming out.
Yes.
And that would have been the morning of the 12th?
Yes.
Okay. If we go back to Exhibit 12, please. Phone log. Go to top of page 2, please. You have more phone calls with Matt as he's driving out over the next several hours, correct?
Yes, I do.
And would you please identify line 10, who you called and what time that call was at?
I called Matt. It was at line 10. It's an incoming call at 8:13. And we just spoke for about a minute and 40 seconds.
Your Honor, the state would seek to admit State's Exhibit 18, please, which was previously admitted. Sorry, seek to publish.
Mr. Vice President, objection to 18.
No.
Oh, me.
I want to.
I was
Hi, Daddy.
So I put some cardboard in there where I put the truck for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
How long is it gonna take to get loaded?
Not long.
Should I just leave it running?
That's fine.
One. There's an apple on your iPad. means that's an Apple
Okay.
iPad. This is an Apple iPad.
Yeah.
Huh? Means it's an iPad.
Okay, you can talk to daddy?
It's an Apple.
All right.
I got it.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay,
I don't want this leave it charging the whole time, just so I don't have to risk it not starting out here.
that's fine.
So, is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah, you're gonna come in though, right?
Yeah, but I just want to make it like easy. I don't want to like hang out.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be easy. No, it's gonna be easy.
Yeah,
Daddy.
so, but it's like the typical drifts, like, because I kind of ran this truck.
Mom,
Okay,
I want to watch my iPad with YouTube on.
okay.
I want to watch my iPad with YouTube.
Okay, Steele, stop, please. I tried to keep him up as long as possible so he would sleep.
I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep.
That sounds about right. So,
Can I
cool.
stay up for a little
All right, sounds good.
bit more? Can
Okay,
I
okay,
stay
bye.
up a little bit more, please?
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing that.
Okay, so at 8:13, you again ask him to come inside, right?
Yes, I do.
After this phone call, what do you do?
Hey, I get my kids ready for bed. I believe I put them in the bath, and I believe I gave them a melatonin gummy to help them go to sleep, to stay asleep. And I believe I went downstairs probably an hour later and saw what everybody was doing downstairs, like my mom and Kevin. I think Kevin was on the couch, just on his laptop, the way he normally would be. And then my mom was just picking up and cleaning up.
Okay. When you say your mom was picking up and cleaning up, what do you mean?
If I think she may have just been finishing up dishes. We had gotten the house ready prior to that.
Okay. So when you say you got the house ready prior, what do you mean?
We removed the screen off of the front door to make it easier for Matt to come in and not be so deterred. We moved the kids' toys from the front room into the garage. So he didn't realize that we had no intentions of leaving and or making a mess on them with blood spatter. And then my mom covered her couches with blankets to prevent blood spatter.
And did you watch her make these preparations?
I did.
Did Kevin help or was it mostly your mom?
It was me and my mom.
I'm going to show just the witness, States Exhibit 19. You recognize that photo?
I do.
Does it appear to be an accurate representation of what the house normally looked like?
It does.
It would move to admit States Exhibit 19.
Any objection? Thank you.
Move to publish.
Objection.
Okay. We're going to talk through that. The toys on the right, what are those in front of?
Those are in front of the fireplace.
Okay, and what did you and your mom do with those toys?
We moved them into the garage. Into the garage or into the office. I can't remember exactly where we moved.
Okay. And you referenced a screen. Is that, can you point that out on the picture?
So if you see the line on the front door, it's one of those magnetic screens that clicks together when you after you walk through it. It's Velcroed on, and we removed it from the Velcro.
Okay. And which couch, or was it all couch? What did she do with, you said something about a blanket on a couch.
Right as you walk in that first couch, there was a blanket draped over that one. I don't know. I can't remember if there were, I believe there was 2 blankets, one on each couch. But just to prevent her couches from getting dirty.
Okay. Take that down and just show the witness, States Exhibit 20, please. Okay, does that picture accurately reflect what it looked like the night of?
Yes.
Say moves to admit Exhibit 20.
Any objection?
No, you're right.
Permission to publish, please.
Heard.
Okay, does this reflect that same view, minus the front door being closed, of the home the night that Matt was shot?
Yes, and the office door is also closed.
And so that's a difference as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is that the blanket you were referring to on that couch on the left?
Yes.
And then the toys are gone.
Yes.
Whose sandal is that in the front?
That's Matt's sandal.
Can we even take that down? Okay, you said after that 8:13 phone call that you bathed the kids, gave them a melatonin, put them to bed, and then went back downstairs,
Yes.
correct? We could please publish what was previously admitted as States 9. Go ahead and scroll down. Keep going. Okay. So just right around that phone call, at 8:13 phone call, Matt texts you, correct?
Yes.
Same content we heard in the phone call, put some cardboard down,
Yes.
right? Okay. You go to your response, the next page. Keep going.
Okay, I'll get some ready.
All right. And then what's your next message to him?
I sent him the gate code
And what time was that?
at 8:59,
And why did you send him the gate code?
so he could make his way into the gated community because my mother lives in a gated community.
Could he have gotten in without that gate code?
Yes, instantaneously, probably not. He would have to wait for another car to follow in.
And trail him in?
Yeah.
Okay. And then one more, go down one more page, please. And what's that a picture of?
That's a picture of the front of the house with the cardboard in front of it.
Okay. What time do you send him that?
9:05.
Thank you. Okay, we can pull that down. Okay, so now we're 9:05. You're back downstairs from putting the kids to bed after giving them a bath, roughly at 9 o'clock time frame. Did you talk about anything with Kevin?
No, I did not. I don't believe so.
Did you see him?
I think he was on his laptop watching a movie.
What about your mom? Did you talk to your mom anymore?
I spoke with her before that, when we were getting things ready.
Objection, non-responsive.
She's answering. She said I spoke to her when we were getting things ready.
The question was, Your Honor, was after she laid the cardboard, you had a conversation.
That's really a yes or no, and then a follow-up is what would be, so let's go that direction. I think I sustain the
Okay.
objection.
After the cardboard was laid, did you talk to your mom anymore?
Yes, but I don't recall what it was about.
And did you, what steps did you take next between then and 10 o'clock?
I was just upstairs, just scrolling on my phone.
What did you observe next?
At 10 o'clock when he pulled up.
Whatever you remember next.
At 10 o'clock when he pulled up. And then I just remember I'm 99% sure that he rang the bell. Nobody answered the door. Sorry. He came inside. I don't know what happened. And then I heard the gunshots. I heard Matt say, ow, ow. And then I heard my mom and my brother
talking about putting the knife in his hand. Kevin telling my mom to be careful because he could still be alive. I remember my mom coming upstairs and she said, don't come downstairs. I said, is he gone? She said, yes. I said, you need to call 911. That's when she went downstairs and called 911.
What do you remember next?
I was sitting upstairs. The cops came in probably about 1 to 2 minutes later after my mom went downstairs. It was really fast. They escorted my mom and my brother out. And then they called up to me to make myself known. I made myself known and I said, my kids are upstairs sleeping. I came around the corner to the stairs and I saw it. And I saw Matt at the bottom of the stairs and I was escorted out.
Did you see Matt's body at the bottom of the stairs?
I did.
I'm sorry, you said you did.
I did, yes.
Did you observe a knife in his hand?
I believe there was a knife in his hand. I don't know if the cops had taken it out at that point. That moment was very traumatizing. I remember when I saw him, I wanted to fall to the ground screaming, but I knew that if I did that, I ran the risk of being shot myself because the officers don't know what they're going into. They don't know who's armed. And so I just had to walk out.
And from there, you interviewed with law enforcement, right?
I did.
What you're telling us today, is that what you told law enforcement?
No, it's not.
Had you had a conversation with your mom or Kevin? Well, let me do it one at a time. Had you had a conversation with your mom about what you'd tell police?
Yes.
And what were you supposed to tell police?
That Matt had arrived later than he had actually gotten there, that he came in angry, that he was just aggravated and mad when he came, and that he was mad on the phone.
Was Matt mad on the phone?
Not entirely. There was an instance where he was, I don't remember the restaurant, but he said that he was getting irritated at one of the workers, that they were being rude to another customer.
But not mad at you?
Not mad at me, no.
Did you hear an argument downstairs before the gunshots?
No, I did not.
Did you hear any exchange before the gunshots?
No, I did not.
Based on the layout of the house, would you expect to have heard conversation if it had occurred?
Yes, I was sitting up right on the top of the stairs, like on that on a landing. So I did hear everything, and I did not hear an argument.
Or any conversation at all?
I did hear the conversation of them putting the knife in his hand.
Okay, sorry, before the shooting.
No, I did not hear any conversation or argument.
Do you know, you said you had a conversation with your mom previously about shooting Matt and putting a knife in his hand, correct?
Yes, I did.
Prior to the day of it happening.
Yes, I did.
And I believe your testimony was that it would occur usually on the lawn.
Yeah, on the lawn. There was other conversations that were had inside the house where she showed me the knife that she had, that she wanted to put in his hand.
Tell me about that.
That knife was, she got that knife from
Amy's house. It was her husband's, Amy's husband's knife that he'd gotten from, I'm not 100% sure where, but it was his knife. He was deceased at the time. So she had taken it. I believe she had gotten it on one of the trips that she came out. I think it was either in April or May.
Okay. And when you say you came out to Amy's house?
My mother went out to Amy's house. I did go to Amy's house. I never saw the knife at Amy's house. The only time I ever saw the knife was at my mom's house.
Does Amy also live in California?
Amy is deceased,
She
and
did live in California.
she did live in California. She lived in Ramona.
Where did that conversation about the knife occur?
In the doorway to the laundry room.
If we could show the witness states exhibit 21, please.
Any objection?
Is that the laundry room that we're talking about? Is
Yes.
that an accurate reflection of what it looked like?
Yes.
They would move to admit exhibit 21
There's been no objections.
and move to publish, please. Yeah, is this the laundry room where you had that conversation?
Yes, in the doorway.
This is the laundry room where your mom showed you the knife?
Yes.
Could you please describe where it was?
She had it on top of the dryer, which is the appliance on the right, in that darker wicker basket.
Was there anything else of note about having it in the wicker basket?
It was wrapped in a glove.
And what if anything else did she say to you in that conversation?
She said that she had wiped it down and that she was going to put it in Matt's hand after he was shot.
Do you remember when this conversation was in relation to the day of the shooting?
2 or 3 days prior.
We can take that down and please show the witness states 22. You recognize that?
I do.
Is that an accurate representation of the knife you were shown?
Yes.
Say move to admit exhibit 22
Any objection?
and move to publish. Is that the knife that you were shown?
Yes, it was.
I can go and take that down. After the shooting, did you go to the police station?
I did.
Did you provide an interview to the police?
I did.
Did you tell them the truth?
No, I did not.
Was your phone seized from you at that time?
It was.
But then were you allowed to leave?
Yes, I was.
Did you and your mom talk about what happened after that?
Not at first, but as the day progressed, yeah, we did.
What did she say?
She told me to stick to the story of self-defense, to not tell anybody anything.
After losing your phone, did you have to get a Google Voice number?
I've had a Google Voice number, so I did have that number. I did get another phone from Walmart.
But did you start using the Google Voice number?
I did. Oh, on the iPad, yes.
Okay, so we move to, or if we could show the witness exhibit 23, please.
You said 23?
Yes. You recognize that?
I do.
Did it appear to be an accurate conversation between you and your mother the day after from your Google Voice number?
It does.
Okay, permission or move to admit, states 23.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. Thank you. So admitted.
And publish, please. That second line at 7:13, sorry, 6 p.m. on 7:13. Would you please read that message from Tracy?
Do not talk with Diane about anything that happened. It can be used against Kevin, so don't tell what happened.
And the next one, please.
just say it was a blur or you don't want to talk about it right then or whenever.
Thank you. We can pull that down. When did the plan in your mind change from divorce to murder?
I think about a week after I had been out there. A week after being out in Utah.
Okay, so you started talking about it then?
Yes.
Were you still trying to pursue divorce?
I knew that divorce wasn't going to be, I felt that divorce wasn't going to be a good option for me if I wanted to stay in Utah, if I wanted to divorce him.
Okay, so when you said that you started talking with your mom about it a week and a half before the murder, so like early July, you had started thinking about it before then?
Yes.
Okay, by yourself or with somebody else?
With my mother.
Okay, tell me about that. What was that conversation like? What do you remember?
She had said it like a joke. Oh, we can get him to come out here and we could just murder him and kill him and make it look like self-defense. So it originally started more as a joke than it was a solid plan, but it was still talked about.
Okay, but when did it change from a joke to what you knew was happening?
About a week and a half beforehand, when I realized that a divorce with him would be messy and I would run the risk of losing my children.
Okay. Did you ever have any second thoughts about this
Absolutely.
before he was murdered?
Yes,
Did you ever express those thoughts?
I did.
When?
It was after my mom had come back from sushi with Kevin. I was standing at the top of the stairs. I looked her in the eyes and I said, Mom, I don't want to do this anymore. She looked me back in the eyes and said, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. In that moment, I realized I should have done more to stop it. I should have done so much. But that's why I'm here, telling the truth, because I want no amount of justice will ever bring him back.
I want to circle back to your conversations with Kevin. You talked today about going in his room the morning of the 12th and saying he's going to drive out and being teary-eyed.
Yes.
And you talked about having a meeting with him and your mom after lunch, after the sushi lunch, right?
Yes.
Prior to those two, had you talked to him about this?
Just lightly in passing, like he was out on the lawn with us when we were talking about how it would go down and how it would be self-defense and that he would be there to protect me.
You engaged in through your attorney, a negotiation with the state, correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say that you didn't share that information with the state at the time?
No, I didn't remember everything. And I guess I was trying to protect Kevin more so and realizing that I can't protect Kevin. Okay. I want to tell 100% the truth.
Is there anything else?
Even if it gets me more time, that I wasn't 100% truthful. I want to be truthful now.
Okay. Is there anything else that you need?
Your Honor, I think I need to request for a foundation. I'm lost at time frame on what these answers are coming from.
I was getting a little confused too. Why don't you back it up and get down with it?
Okay. How far back? Just Kevin involvement?
Well, her questions from way before to way after, and now I don't know what time frame she's even referring to. I think the question was, may we?
Yes.
I have to tell y'all, I am so I'm so over her. Oh gosh. Between her and Odin, I don't know what's going on. Odin, what are you talking about? I don't know. It seems like you might be in the wrong chat. We talking about a trial. I don't know what you talking about, Odin. I keep trying to ask you what you talking about. We done went to conditioner from melatonin. I don't know what are we doing? You probably in the wrong chat. Because okay, none of us help you with those issues over here and those thoughts and concerns. Yeah, this lady on here.
So when you said, when I had asked you, did you tell us this information about Kevin before? You said, no, I didn't remember.
Correct.
Okay. When did you not remember the aspects that involved Kevin?
Say that one more time.
Actually, a better way to ask it would be, when did you remember those aspects that involved Kevin?
Just after going to being in jail and sitting and just racking my brain on what happened.
You've referenced this before. You used to smoke a lot of marijuana.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Are you clean in jail or in
Yes,
prison?
I am.
Sorry,
Yes,
let me ask
I
that
am.
again. Are you clean in prison?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Has that helped your thinking?
I believe so. And it's helped a lot.
1 second, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Just one piece of cleanup, and then I'll pass the witness. You could please show the witness Exhibit 27. You recognize that?
I do.
Is that the family, the 250 that we heard reference to?
Yes, it is.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 27.
Any objection?
Okay. With that, I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Tracy, across?
Yes. If we could take a break, Your Honor.
Right, let's take about a 10, 15-minute break, ladies and gentlemen.